United have just posted an operating profit of 32.6 million. Arsenal have posted record revenues but made a loss. Rohit naturally thinks that Arsenal are the better run club. Rohit, are they?
Yeah, of course. At least our wage bill is not like City's wage bill, which is the highest in Europe. But
Well, you've reported losses for 7 years in a row, though.
yeah, but that's fine. Your one is only half of the season. I think it's quarterly one, right? Or half.
Quarter,
Yeah. So last year they had the same. So they shown the loss after end of the year. So and then you've been cutting cost anyway. And
we're not feeding people. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right then. Well, this is going to be a meaty episode. We've got 3 topics to cover, so let's get cracking. So welcome back everyone to 2 Halves 2 Innings. You've got myself and Rohit today. Ajay is I don't know what he's doing. He's not
enjoying his paneer somewhere. I think he's busy tonight. Yeah.
Or no, I think he's doing some exercise because he wants to go to Soho Tavern tomorrow. So he wants to make sure he's got a nice empty stomach to take advantage of the delicacies of the Midlands.
Yeah.
So we've got a meaty episode today, Rohit. We're going to cover 3 topics. You want us to talk about financial results for Manchester United and Arsenal, which they've just released this week. Also, we've got the exciting Champions League draw, and I think Arsenal have got lucky there. But hold your thoughts before we dive into that. And also, we're going to just quickly preview match day 28, where Manchester United faced Crystal Palace at home, and Arsenal have got a potentially juicy game against Chelsea at home as well. So with finances, I touched on it in the opening. So Arsenal, you're doing okay on the pitch.
Yeah,
you're doing okay.
Yeah,
financially. 7 years loss making.
Yeah, I mean, if you see this, right, we are paying for the stadium as well. We are paying everything. We are not like bankroll, like someone owner comes in and say, hey, go, here's the money, $2 billion or £2 million, use it. But it's like, it's very sustainable. I mean, 1.4 million loss is actually, if you see from previous year, it's better this year, right? There was I think bigger loss last year. This year it's only 1.4 million because of revenue has grown as well. So I think it matches the things happening on the pitch as well. Right? A club is successful if they're successful on the pitch. The revenue will come, right? Shirts will sell more. People will watch more. There will be a lot of money. If we say, for example, because we reached semi-final last year of the Champions League, so that's the money came in. Obviously last season we've been second. There was the money in there as well to be second and winning games and TV revenue. So I think we are going towards slowly we're going towards that profit thing. And again, I think this is why I wanna say something here, Amit. A lot of people on Twitter talk about how much money net spend. But until you get the salaries, the wages in there, you don't know what the net spend is. So net spend City could be doing pretty well, right? They spend like 600 million in the net spend. Arsenal spend, say, 800 million or something. They say, oh, Arsenal spend more. But you're not talking about wages in there.
Yeah.
So if you include wages, City are far ahead from anyone. That's how they're getting players in.
Okay, so you mentioned wages, Rohit. So, I mean, you've had some limited success on the field, and that seems to have obviously driven your commercial revenues. I mean, obviously, you got into the semi-final of the Champions League last year. I think that added quite an extra £10 million, I think, into your television rights. And obviously, because you've had good runs in the Cups last year, it increased revenue from ticket sales,
TV as well.
TV, right? Yeah, TV and ticket sales. But the question I'm going to say is that you're recording record revenues, but you're still making a loss. Where's your money going?
I think, like I said, Amit, we are still paying for the stadium as well. So it's not that we've been bankrolled from anyone. Say, here is your free stadium. No, we took the loan to get the stadium. I think the stadium loan is still there. It hasn't been
I
paid off
think
yet. Yeah.
350 million, I think is still owed
Yeah.
to the Kroenke, the
Yeah,
foundation, or whatever it's
and
called, the
And
kind of the
Kroenke
group.
put more money in.
Yeah.
They lent more money in, 32 million as well. I think that's why it's
Mm.
kind of loss as well. So I
Mm.
still think 1.4 million is negligible loss for, if you say company or a stadium as big as Arsenal, right? As PLC. So I would say I think it's very sustainable going forward. I'm hoping next year when we see 26, because this result was 24-25. Next year 25-26 will be profit.
But Roy, remember, you've been loss making for 7 years, as in not you personally, but Arsenal have been loss making for 7 years. So that's a cumulative effect. So
Yeah,
they've got to kind
but
of recuperate that past 7 years
yes,
and plus some more to really truly be profit making.
exactly. And then if you see, I
Yeah,
mean, we spent a lot last year as well in
you
players.
did.
Yeah,
Well, you said
so
your net spend was good. There's only your net spend wasn't that much though, was it?
no, it wasn't. But it's like the we spent a lot of money last year in
Mm,
players, and
mm,
then obviously the changes happening in the squad as well and the other bits. So if you see, I know we've been in loss for last 7 years, but it's like where we are going. If it's decreasing, it's fine. If it's growing, then it's not good. So if you
yeah.
see the other clubs like Chelsea, how can they get into this loss? 300, whatever, 300
Well,
million
I think
loss.
it's
Oh my
the
God.
most loss recorded by a Premier League
By
club,
a
I think.
club. Exactly. Exactly. And City a 10 million loss as well, I think, right? If you
Oh,
see
they'll just
City.
change the name of this. They'll change the name of the sponsor of the stadium now. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't
You
know
call
about.
Etihad Airways now rather
Yeah,
than Etihad.
that's it. But what about Liverpool? I'm getting conflicting reports. Some saying they made a profit, 10 million profit something. Some saying 57 million loss. I'm confused. I don't know if you drill
Well, I
down
mean,
into that.
let's
Yeah,
go back to Arsenal and
yeah,
Man U because they're our teams, okay?
yeah.
For Arsenal, I mean, to be fair, although you made a loss of 1.4 million, 15.2 million of that was actually the club writing off the book value of players. So it's just
Mm.
kind of balancing the books. So that's an
That
accountancy thing. So actually,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just winding you up. I haven't been on a podcast with you for ages, so I'm going to have to kind of
No, because
wind you up a
I'm
little
not.
bit today.
Yeah, no,
But
but that's fine. I'm not accountant. I don't know what was going on. I
no,
haven't
nor am
drilled
I.
down to
You
the
know,
report.
I'm
But
just for my research.
yeah,
But I mean, that's just
yeah,
a book thing. They're
yeah.
just so
It's
obviously they
obviously yeah,
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 yeah. So like for
yeah,
example, what they'll say is like say you're worth they bought you for 30 million.
yeah.
Now you're 30. You're owed
You
30, and in your last year of your contract, so your value is now 5 million. So
5 million
on
or something.
paper,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
lost 25 million
End
on
of a
your
day.
value.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
I think I mean please listeners if I'm talking a lot of
yeah.
rubbish please correct us but my understanding is that's where kind of the asset loss or the valuation of your
That's
asset
it.
loss is
Yeah,
on Arsenal.
yeah.
So really
Again, that
it's
will be. I mean, that will be on the players who we sold, right? This is
mm,
the thing. So that asset can be that asset became depreciated, rather than
yeah.
in profit. So, for example, if we bought someone, say for example, Zizenko for 30 million and we sold him for 60 million, we made a profit on it. But we bought it for 30 million to balance the books because we sold him for free or something, 1 million, 5 million, whatever. That's depreciating asset. So
Mm.
it's like I bought a camera today for £2,000. 10 years down the line, that will cost me £100 now because it's the asset appreciated,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
can't
Yeah.
sell it
So
for
I think I think
£3,000.
again, I'm
I
not an
think it's
accountant,
that
just
book.
like you said,
Yeah,
we're not
yeah,
accountants,
yeah.
and it's how they fudge it really. But I mean, your labor to sales actually. So your salary spend versus your revenue is actually the fourth highest in the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah,
So does
yeah.
that mean that and again, I'm trying to be nice here to you, Rohit. Does that mean that you're overperforming on that basis? I mean, obviously, salary spend does not equate to just because you're the highest spend on the Premier League, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the top. But I'm kind of trying to be nice to you
Hmm.
here. Do you think that means you've maybe overperformed?
I don't know about this, Hamid, actually, to be honest. So what you're trying to say is that uh,
It's
say
not a
again
direct.
what
I
you
suppose
said.
what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say, Rohit, there's
yeah,
not a direct correlation.
yeah,
Okay, so I suppose
yeah.
it's not really a fair. But I'm just trying to, I'm still trying to be nice to you here because we've not been on a podcast together for a couple of weeks. So what I'm trying to say is that when you consider that your salary spend was the fourth highest in the Premier League, but yet you
Salary
finished
spend.
second.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
finished second. So
yeah.
therefore, are you punching above your weight? Because So I suppose it'd be interesting this year. Where what your salary spend is like because obviously you've acquired more players. Saka's just signed a new deal, and I suppose to be
Yeah,
the highest
300,
paid
probably
player.
300K a week. Yeah.
300,
So
so allegedly
salary,
he's the highest
yeah,
paid
yeah,
player in
in our
Arsenal's football
history.
history.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it'd be interesting to see kind of what your salary spend this time next year is and how you finish.
How you finish?
Am I
Yeah,
making sense?
Yeah, you are making sense now. Thanks for explaining. But I would say I don't think it correlates to how we play on the pitch, right? It
Yeah,
all
yeah,
depends on the player. So, for example, when Arsene Wenger was here, probably our salary spend was cap was pretty low anyway.
yeah.
We bought
It
players
was.
like Henry, Vieira, pretty low wages, and then they won the leagues, couple of leagues, right? So I don't believe in that because when you, as a player, when you go on the pitch, you don't care what salary you want to perform. If you are, there is integrity, there is value in there. You want to perform to the best of your ability. You go and perform. You don't see my salary is less than other person. Again, some players
Mm,
could think like that, but that could be out of the ground, not on the pitch. Basically, they can talk
mm.
about with the agents, with the club about salary they should be on. But I don't disagree, but I don't agree either, right? So that it does correlate with the performance on the pitches. We overperform now. We perform like we performed. We had to, but obviously, to now you see this, right? To be second, and so if you see the who are the big elephant? What is the big elephant here? Man City
Yeah,
and Liverpool. If you see this last season, they won the league, right? To beat them in the league for 38 games, you need some investment, right? You need top players. And nowadays, top players don't come because if top player wants to come to Arsenal, they would say, "Oh, Man City paying me more wages now. I might as well go
yeah.
to Man City,"
But
right?
then, are they the right
So,
player that you want to have playing for your
but
club? Then,
but that's the
if
thing.
that
So
if
this is
money's
why,
a drive,
yeah, this is what I'm saying. But
yeah,
you sometimes you have to pay that. Sometimes you
yeah, you
have to pay
do.
that if
I'm
it's
just,
a
I think,
good skill. Yeah,
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 yeah. I think I mean, it's difficult. Listen, I'm a business owner, so I know like sometimes you got to pay the odds, but
mm.
there comes a point when you've just got to say no, no matter how
Of course
potentially
they
talented
probably
it is,
said,
because
yeah,
if and it's not just about salary caps or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Obviously you've got to have a sustainable business, otherwise you'd end
yes.
up like Manchester United have been,
I tell you, I
or
was coming
the
on to
others
that actually. Remember
loss
Alexis
making.
Sanchez thing, the
Yeah,
saga,
yeah, yeah,
Alexis Sanchez
exactly.
saga, right? Man City
Yeah,
said, no, we are not paying that money,
yeah.
right? They put the cap on, they put the lid on, nope, we are
For
not paying that
once.
much money. City wanted to pay, United
Yeah,
wanted to pay, and then he ended
yeah.
up at Manchester United and he ruined his career, basically. He wasn't happy there. So what's the point of that, right? So
Exactly. That's what I
sometimes,
mean, and I think it
yeah,
speaks value. And
yeah,
for me, and I'm not saying I'm right, but my perception is that obviously you got to pay for talent, but there's got to come a point that if money is a key driver, and we've all got mortgages and kind of
um,
financial commitments and stuff, but if
yeah.
money is the sole key driver for and Alexis Sanchez Royd is a brilliant
Oh, he was,
brilliant analogy
oh,
because you're going for a club now. Yes, I think Mourinho was the manager at the
Mourinho
time,
was,
so yes, he's a very good manager. Pep, he's a manager at Man City, but Manchester City are in a trajectory while Manchester United were stagnant or on a decline, however you view it, and obviously they have been since then. So why? And if you're a player of his class, and remember,
oh,
this is
he
a
was
guy who's played
awesome.
for
He was
Barcelona. You
brilliant.
know,
He was
he
brilliant.
played in Italy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was brilliant for
In
Arsenal. Probably one of
Barcelona,
Arsenal's
yeah.
best signings.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Arsenal's,
so
yeah.
this is not. We're not talking about a mediocre player here. We're talking
Yeah.
about an
Yeah.
exceptional quality player. So for either he felt he could go to Manchester United and be the star man. He had the number 7 shirt, so following the likes of Cantona, George Best, etc., etc. Or he went for the money. Now, obviously, we don't know that what the answer to
We
that
don't know.
question is,
But yeah.
but it appears from what you're
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah. I,
if you're right, that money was
yeah.
the driver,
Yeah. But
and he's
I
ruined his
think
career
it's
because of that.
yeah. But I think sometimes it's like say for example, I agree what you're saying, but kind of disagreeing here as well because money is always the driver in any professional form,
No, I
right?
understand that, right? Yeah,
Because you is again for us we still touch wood, but for players we're talking about, right? They have a short career. They want to make as much money as they can
yeah,
to and then to set their generations
yeah,
for life, to say, yeah, you guys are sorted now. But I can understand that, right? If it was me, but again, depending on who's paying, it's not about the monies again. Plus, another context is who's paying that as well. Say, for example, if Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United paying that money, you can choose because those four clubs are top clubs at the moment. You can say, okay, if obviously depending on where everyone is fighting, but yeah, you can say Man United, big name, right? Man City, yep, winning trophies every year, one or two. Arsenal, okay, is up and coming maybe. Liverpool winning trophies, they won Champions League. So obviously you will think that, and then could be the player's personal choice as well. If there is only like 50k, 20k here and there. Look what happened to Ashley Cole. Arsenal agreed to pay him something and then they backtrack for 10k. It wasn't because Ashley Cole said on the overlap. It wasn't because the money. It was because of the lack of trust. It was lack of that transparency, lack of that integrity to say you agreed to pay 50. It was only 55k then, right? And then whatever that money was, 60, whatever, right? And then say, no, we'll pay 50k. And then Mourinho came in and said, okay, we'll pay you whatever. So, and people, fans and everyone saying Cashley Cole. But it wasn't like that. He came in and explained that is because they backtracked, right? So we don't know what goes behind the scenes. So we have to be very empathetic with players as well. I totally agree that, end of the day, they want to sort out their families and their nears and dears for the generation.
Also, I totally agree with that as well. But then again, there's only small amount of clubs that are naturally going to be able to win a trophy. And surely, I mean, again, I'm not in that position, so it's always easy to kind of comment when you're not in that position. You understand, outside the box or outside the coalface is very easy to kind of armchair supporters. It's always easy. There might be people in my business who say, "Oh, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that?" Again, and it's because I'm on the coalface. I'm making decisions, so it's very difficult. As you always say, the context is very different. But if I think of someone recent, like Arsenal's linchpin at the moment, Declan Rice. When he left West Ham, obviously he
could
had
have
an
gone to City.
opportunity allegedly to go to Man City and Arsenal. Now I'm sure. With all due respect, and I'm not being disrespectful to Arteta here, but I think Pep is a better is a world class manager. You can say that, okay, because he's done it in different countries and with different clubs, regardless of kind of whether it's been money or not. He's won trophies, okay.
Yeah, he won trophies. I want to put again the context here. He won the trophies with the established clubs. Apart from Barcelona, probably. Even Barcelona, when he came, Barcelona were European champions then. They won the league. They won the Champions League. No, so he done it at established clubs. He did not go into club like Arsenal, who were declining.
He's not rebuilt.
Or Man United, the club were declining and brought them back up, right? There's a difference. There is a difference,
Yeah, but what the point I'm trying to say is, so he had an option to work with a known world class manager. Nothing's guaranteed in life, but higher probability of winning trophies.
Exactly.
And probably again we don't know, but probably because obviously the cap, sensible cap structure that Arsenal have got, or I don't know if it's changed now because of Saka, but a cap. So he sacrificed three things. So manager, potential trophies and a salary, and money, because he believed in the project of Arteta. For me, and again, I'm making some big assumptions here, but for me, I really respect that.
Of course, of course, really I respect that as well.
And for that reason, I think he deserves to win a trophy, the Carabao Cup.
Exactly, and the league, and the Champions League, and FA Cup, whatever. But I'm saying this is what I say. Everyone is different, right? So he for someone 100k is enough. So someone 300k is enough because he or she probably have something else in them. They have to take care of. Maybe not just one family, 10 families, or whatever. So you never know about someone's personal circumstances. So we can't judge them. This is what I'm saying. So
and it's their right, isn't it? They've earned the right. It's easy for us to comment players
they're
like
professionals,
Ivan Toney.
They work hard.
Players in their peak and they're going to Saudi Arabia. But then, as you rightly said, they're players who are limited time in their careers. They've got to make the most of it, and that kind of mouth-watering money that allegedly they're getting paid. I mean, I'll go to the gym every day to earn £100,000 a week.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Amit. I don't get when people start judging them and so why did you, mate, it's not your life, it's someone else's life. They know what best for their life, they know what they want to do, they let them be, right? Everyone is different. It's their, as you rightly say, it's their life, their values. It's their, they're the ones that are going to look themselves in the mirror. Exactly.
As I say, it's always easy for everyone to kind of comment and judge, but unless you're in that situation, because you don't know the context of where they've come from.
Exactly. Plus, Amit, look at Ivan Toney's case, right? Probably no big club came in for him. If Liverpool, Arsenal, or Chelsea, or Man City Man United would have come and paid he would have gone. He probably didn't get any. He didn't get any contacts or any deals or any chance to go there. So this is why he said, okay, what's the best then, right? Either I stay at Brentford or I make money in Saudi. So it's good. It's good for him. Yeah. So,
Okay, so talking about Manchester United, so quickly one there. So the good news is they reported an operating profit of 32.6 million for the second quarter.
second
It's
quarter.
actually their
Yeah.
best Q2 results post-COVID. So 6 years now?
Right.
The wage bill is down by 18 million. And as we've touched on before, the labour to sales, so labour to revenue is 45%, which is one of the healthiest in the Premier League. But let's kind of dig a little bit deeper. 48.2 million of that is from player sales. So actually, really, if
Yeah.
you kind of, what's that,
Yeah.
15 million loss, really,
Is
if you think
that
about it, if they
does
didn't sell the
this?
players.
Yeah, but does this include Cunha, Mbimo, and Seskos?
Yes. So this is up to 31st of
December
December.
25?
This is a couple of things here. So, so I said 40, so a lot of that came from player sales. Commercial revenues and income has fallen. Obviously, we're not in many, we've not got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We're not in the what's it called?
Champions
Not in
League or
Europe.
Europa.
They had a sponsor, a blockchain company, Tezos, I think.
Yeah, something like this.
For their training kit. So that was
Yeah.
worth 24 million. That hasn't been replaced as well.
Right.
And also, we don't know yet, but obviously there's going to be an impact of Amarin leaving because he was sacked on the
about
5th of
13
January.
million something they were saying.
So, well, I think it's nearly 16 million, Rohit.
Oh, 16?
I think it's 15. That's just him.
Oh,
50, I think it's
just
15.8
him.
million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, yes, we made a profit, but I think there's a lots of things that are kind of papering over the cracks here. So it's not as rosy as it seems. But let's see what the next kind of 6 months. I mean, purely as a United fan, I mean, it is good. I mean, and I suppose Omar Barada, the CEO, is being obviously quite positive about it all because it seems on paper that the decision they've been making, cutting the wage bill down, selling players, reducing the salaries, etc. It seems to be doing the right things. But at the end of it, for United to be sustainable in terms of being pulling power for shirt sponsors and kit sponsors, they need to be successful on the field,
on the pitch.
and running deep into competitions and etc. So that's why it's. I mean, that could have been one of the reasons why they made the decision to sack Amarin, that they couldn't see themselves, getting into the top four. And so far, you can say, well, yes, they paid 16 million to sack him and his team.
Yeah,
if they get into the Champions League,
the
then
money
look
is
how much. If obviously it's a big if at the moment, there's still another 10, 11 games to go. But that decision could be rightly it's applauded.
Yeah, and you even if you get into Europa, you still get them some money, and you'll be recouped, right? It evens you out. So yeah, so in hindsight now, I think it was a good decision for them to make, to sack Amarim, because they think it wasn't going. I mean, this is why. So one time he was saying, "I trust him 3 years," and now. Now they sacked him, but this is what happens in business, right? The things change, the context.
People can say whatever they want, at the end of the day, it's not respectfully. When you're talking about the elite clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, these guys have got massive wage bills, massive financial commitments. At the end of the day, Arsenal lost a low. Kroenke 300 million. Manchester, God knows how much Manchester United owe the Glazers. So I think it's 600 million plus. And the associated interest with that as well. So it's ridiculous. So it's the point is though. You've got to have a sustainable model, and these decisions have to be made. But ultimately, as far as sports concerned, the more successful you are, the more revenue you're going to get generated from ticket, commercial deals, etc. So let's see.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be interesting when they actually comes out, the full year finances come out. So then we will actually know what is going on. At the moment is they I think they release this. I know what the CEOs talk. They all talk because they know they have to say something to make to I mean, how do I say it? To make their fans little believe that we are going in the right direction, and don't have them into any panic to say we are at loss, we are losing money. And I think this is why it's important. The context is important, where they're coming from as well. CEOs will always back them, right? CEO will always say we are doing good, but what actually will happen is the numbers at the end of the year which will come out. Then we will know what happens. But if they feel, let's see what happens at the end of the year. And it was a financial year.
So.
Yeah, but
Well,
again,
just a quick
this was
question,
20.
would you rather have
Yeah.
would you rather have a cash rich club or a trophy rich club?
I think it's, again, there is a coherence here, isn't it? A cash rich club can only be cash rich if they're winning trophies. And again, we have to define what is cash rich. Brighton are cash rich. They shown some profit. They have some money in the bank. If that's their model, then it's perfectly fine. So if they have to go into the next step, next stage, next phase, they have to spend some money. How they spend the money, that's what matters. So I want to understand, when you say cash rich, what do you mean by cash rich?
Money in the bank.
Money in the bank. Yeah, profits every year, money in the bank.
Yeah,
and not
so
winning anything.
They'll be sleeping on £50 pillow notes.
Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. But if the fans are happy, if club, that's their way to go. That's how they see themselves to be sustainable. Who cares, right? So,
but what, it's such a big risk, though. Again, you made another brilliant comparison there with Brighton. So for someone like Brighton, who's obviously been very successful in the Premier League since they've been here, they've I wouldn't say they've really flirted with relegation or whatever, but so the decision that they've got to make is that, do we stay stagnant and keep operating as we are, or do we invest big time to try and push to get into Europe? But if we don't, then they're going to have a massive wage bill, so it's such, as a business owner, it's such a difficult decision.
Tough.
And you really got to have some big balls, really, or be confident with kind of what you're going to do. And it's so difficult because,
it is.
You can only control the controllables, and that's yourself. But as things are with the Premier League at the moment and football, there's always going to be someone who's going to outspend you.
Yep. Look at that Wigan's example, right? They won the FA Cup, and then they're going down, and then they're League One or League Two at the moment. Yeah. So now fans will say, yeah, they loved that year, right? Yeah. That they won the league, they won the FA Cup, they enjoyed it, but in the long run, what it did to them. So would they be happy? So this is, again, tough question. Everyone will give a different answer to this. Yeah. But when you're in the position of a CEO of a company, or the owner of the company, or owner of the football club, you have to make tough decisions. You have to see, where do you want to take this club to? Do you want to take this club to, say, winning the leagues, winning the trophies? Or do you want to say, okay, I want to be sustainable here? We buy players. That's the operating model. Depending on what the operating model is, the operating model is like Brighton: buy very, very cheap players. Not cheap players in the sense of skill, is more of the money exchange, right? I'm talking about
great talent, great scouting.
Great scouting. We invest there, get great scouting, get players, and sell them for 100 million, right? Get it for 10 million.
That's what could happen with Baleba. How much whatever they paid for him.
Look at Casado, Bissouma, right? Casado, Bissouma,
many players,
many goals, right? Many players through Brighton have gone, right? Yeah. So this is what the operating model is. They are investing in scouting to get good players. Now, if they find a great leader, a great manager who can win them a trophy, that's icing on the cake. So they are waiting for that, probably the right person who can win them the league with these players, who can mold them, these players.
Or maybe not the league, there's no
not a league, but at least for FA Cup, Carling Cup, something like this, some trophies. So same way like Portsmouth won the FA Cup, now they're in League Two, right? What's the point? But then fans say, we enjoyed that. Hey, even we League Two, we are happy. But so this is what happens. So I think it's interesting, but it's tough. So you don't want to be in a position
of a financial podcast. This is rather than football.
No, but it's good. We're talking something else. We're talking out of the way, talking something else rather than just football. So it's good. And again, interesting. It's part of the whole.
We're not experts in accountancy or CEO mindset or something. But we are in business and we have some limited understanding. So I think it's just good for kind of our listeners just to understand different kind of. I'm sure some of them already do, but just understand the different facets of the game as well, and how that can kind of help contribute. Well, one, numbers are numbers. You can manipulate numbers to however positive spin
you can easily
can.
do that.
And we've shown that with Manchester United. It's with the difference of 5 days.
Sometimes it's that, Amit, you want to show what people want to see, right?
Exactly.
That's the thing. So that's the thing. You want to make sure you only show people want to see. So again,
and
we are
again,
like
and controversially, obviously there's still a little bit of aftermath of what Sir Jim said, regarding colonization.
of
so
course,
this positive spin on the numbers may just take a little bit of the sting of his comments. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing, because they're totally independent. But for those some of the fans are sitting on a moral high ground, thinking, well, they're doing a good thing. They're making the club profitable again, and therefore more sustainable.
Or get people to talk something else than that, right? So but guys, if we think we are going in we're thinking differently, it's not the right way, please let us know. We want to hear from you as well. So please put us in the comment. Let us know what are your thoughts as well, and if our thoughts resonates with you, or we totally out of the line. So please let us know in the comments.
Conor, Rohit, so Champions League draw. Oh my God, I'm licking my lips. I'll tell you what, Rohit. Okay, one question for you quickly. Would you rather win the Champions League or the league?
Amit, I said 100 times, league. Me personally, I love to win the league.
Yeah, but you've never won the Champions League though,
Rohit. We haven't won the league for 20 odd years.
But you've never won the Champions League though, Rohit.
No, I know, we never won it, but I always take league. I totally agree with Sir Alex there. I am with Sir Alex here.
You may even win both, because I'll tell you one thing.
If you win both, icing on the cake, brilliant. But I want to win league first. I just into league. Champions of England, playing 38 games every week, every midweek, coming back, challenges, those draws, those frustrations, and then those celebrations. And, you can't beat that. I mean, Champions League is, it's okay. Champions League is a cup. A cup anyone can play one day and then play another. I mean, league is 38 games.
I suppose the Champions League, because it's obviously now it's knockout stage. You don't know who you're going to play.
Exactly.
And I think on paper, so I'm going to really specify on paper, I think Arsenal have got not an easier draw than some of our other English counterparts. Okay, but I think more importantly, your side of the draw is easier on paper.
Easier on paper, but as you know, nothing is easy when you go on the pitch.
On paper.
Because look what happened with Wolves. On paper, on Wolves, it was easy game to us to win, and look what happened to all. So anything can happen, especially in cup games. Anything can happen. We see in Champions Leagues, last 10 minutes, a team playing brilliantly, winning in the both legs. Last 10 minutes, they lost the tie. So anything can happen. But on paper, I agree with you. It's easier. And then we have Spurs on the same side, right? And Barcelona and Newcastle as well. Wow. Let's see.
Barcelona. So I mean, really, you'd expect Barcelona to beat Newcastle.
Yeah. It was a tough game. It was a tough game for beating Barcelona when Rashford scored the goal, and then I think it was they narrowly won that, right? With one goal, if I remember that.
On both sides of the draw, there's a couple of repeat fixtures from the first time, because I think Real Madrid and City were in the same
again. Yeah.
So they've got them again as well. So, but that's which one of the games is kind of got your salivating.
I think City Real Madrid are gonna be good fun to watch, and I think Chelsea PSG. Wow, what a game! What a game! And Spurs Atletico Madrid. I mean, actually good games. Actually, if you see that, they're good games.
I mean, if you look at all the teams, I think at the moment the most formed team in Europe, you would say, is Arsenal.
Bayern as well.
Arsenal. I would say Arsenal.
Arsenal obviously the top, but Bayern as well. They're very tough.
So there's two. So again, are we looking at a potential Arsenal Bayern final?
Oh, that'll be great, isn't it? Wow.
Harry Kane to
Harry
score a
Kane.
hat trick
Oh
against
wow.
Arsenal.
Oh wow. Oh no 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 no
And
no no
swing a
no.
Tottenham shirt,
No no
pin a
no.
Tottenham shirt onto
No no.
onto the
No.
trophy in the goal
No,
frame.
no, 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 no. Yeah, that'd be great game actually. I mean, it's tough games, and look, we have Bodo game right on the our side. They're
Yeah,
playing Sporting Lisbon and Bodo. They beat City. They beat Inter Milan. They are very good team. I've seen them play. I mean, they're passing, their transition. Oh my god, they don't look like the people say, "Oh, it's easy team," easy win on the paper. They are a brilliant team, brilliantly
they are.
coached
But I
as
mean,
well. Yeah,
could there be a Zimbabwe of Zimbabwe in the IC Cricket
the
World
Cricket
Cup
World
what's
Cup.
running at the
Yeah,
moment?
yeah,
Were brilliant in the group stage, and now they've
yeah.
come to the Super 8 stage, and they've
Oh,
obviously, I suppose, they've
let's see
burnt
if
out or whatever. Obviously, there's still got
yeah
one more game to go, but
yeah
could there be a
if
bit like
we
that?
yeah if we win our tie against Leverkusen, and then
Yeah.
if they win against Sporting, we play them in quarterfinals. So it's
Again, I
gonna be a
think
good game.
you
Yeah.
should have a good. You should get to the semi-finals again. I think.
Ooh. Let's hope.
Then it'd be
Yeah,
then it'd
at
be
least
either
minimum. Yeah.
Barcelona or Madrid. You play Atletico Madrid. You
Ooh,
play in the semi-finals.
ooh, ooh. So what's gonna happen? Okay, so they on this side. Okay, so
Yeah,
Spurs Atletico will play winner of Newcastle Barca
yeah,
in quarterfinal, right? We play winner of Bodo and Sporting in quarterfinal, and
yeah.
then we play semi-final. Mm,
So I'm telling you,
mm,
Munich and Arsenal final.
mm. Let's see. It could be Man City. See, imagine this. Man City, Arsenal
Yeah.
going for league. Man City, Arsenal for Carabao Cup final already. Man City, Arsenal for the FA Cup final.
What's the
Oh,
odds
the
of that?
Champions League quadruple
That's
for
a
both
good.
teams. My God, oh,
That's a good bet to put on with it.
that's a good bet to put on, isn't it?
Go on, break your duck, and put that bet on.
Imagine that will happen. Wow,
Um,
first time in the
So, I
history.
mean,
Yeah.
are you happy? I mean, I suppose, are you happy with the draw though? Quickly.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happy with the
yeah,
draw.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
again, I know, joking
yeah.
aside,
You have
I
to
think
win
you've
games.
avoided
Yeah,
the big guns. Bayern aren't the same team as they
yeah,
were under
yeah, yeah.
Leverkusen. Bayern Leverkusen aren't the same
Exactly.
team as they
Yeah,
were under
and
Alonso. So,
exactly. So I think I'm happy with the draw. I'm happy with the draw.
and I
But
suppose
then
double
again,
happy with the side of the
yeah,
draw as well.
you side of draw. You have to win. If you have to
Yeah,
win Champions League, you have to beat like last year we beat Real Madrid as well in the
yeah.
tie in quarterfinal. Unfortunately, we could not beat PSG in the final, but
Mm.
those were good games. So you have to beat some good teams anyway along the way to
Yeah,
reach
but
final.
PSG with last year were
I think
exceptional,
they
weren't they?
last year were different. I don't think they're good this year.
They're
As good
not
as
been the
last
same
year.
team this year. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not be the same team.
I think they scraped through against Monaco, didn't
Yeah,
they?
exactly.
It was quite
Yeah,
tight, isn't it?
it
Yeah.
was
I mean,
quite
I don't
tight.
think other than
Yeah,
Arsenal,
yeah,
for me. There's been no standout team in
yeah.
the Champions League this year. I
Mm.
think you've been by far, the most consistent in the Champions League. And performances like your win at Inter Milan was amazing.
I, yeah, exactly. But Bodo was great as well against Inter. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, any team can win. I'm looking at the draw, guys.
Mhm.
Liverpool versus City semi-final. Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Wow. I think we should definitely put that Arsenal City final
Yeah,
on all for.
I think that's definitely worth a punt. I think. Okay, let's get Paddy Power onto it.
Yeah, let's
See
see.
what odds they can give us.
Imagine if they come up with an ad, a good ad for
Okay,
that.
Conor Roy, let's quickly preview
Cool.
game week
Yeah.
28. So we've talked about obviously the finance, the Europe, and which obviously Manchester United unfortunately aren't part of yet. Hopefully next year. So the first game for our clubs is Manchester United. We've got a kind of a mid-afternoon game,
Yeah,
2:30, I
2 o'clock.
think it is.
2
2
o'clock
o'clock,
Sunday.
2 o'clock on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So we've got Crystal Palace. So I think there's a bit of a storyline here. So for me, it was the last time we played Palace. I think they were the last game before Amrin got sacked. I think.
No, I think you won
Or
against Palace
yeah,
at Selhurst Park.
yeah,
You won that game. Yeah.
yeah. We did win, and then
Yeah.
so I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that when Amrin got sacked, Glasner was the favourite for the bookies to take over Amrin. Okay, and so what? In 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, look how much has changed. Where he's obviously had a fallout with the board. He's fallen out with the players. Sorry, the fans.
and
and
gone out
he's
of
obviously
FA
he's
Cup.
obviously
Yeah,
announced that he's
yeah,
leaving as well at the
yeah,
end of the
yeah,
season as well.
yeah.
So things are kind of went really kind of off the ball for Palace, unfortunately,
Mm.
for that reason. I mean, it's easy to say it's just that, but for what appears to be that season, obviously they lost Gahey. They were going to lose Mateta, but his transfer didn't go through because of his alleged underlying injury. So I think he's still at the club. But the performances haven't been great. Although they did recently beat Brighton and Wolves, so they seem to be
Yeah,
back on
the
track a
Wolves
little bit.
last minute goal as well. If I
Yeah.
remember
So
correctly, it was
again,
quite late
you
goal.
know, and I know obviously I watched the game. It was absolutely boring, but I wasn't able to review it with yourself and Ajay. So I know you've kind of covered that already. But I mean, for me, it was a boring game. Manchester United versus Everton, so boring. It was
Boring.
unbelievable.
We did
But
mention that it was so boring game. Just
a
one
moment of
goal.
magic,
Yeah,
brilliant,
yeah.
moment of magic from the
Cunha.
strikers, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think Sesko and another media obviously saying as well. I think he really is knocking on the door to start, and
Do you
he
think
does
he should
bring
start?
some. Yeah, I think so, Rohit. I mean, I think Ahmad hasn't been playing that well recently, so I think having Cunha, Mbemo, and Sesko up front, I think that's quite terrifying. I would say, and it helped the pace. I mean, you saw that the pace of them three attacked. One beautiful ball from
Yeah, one
Cunha
goal.
to
Yeah, yeah.
Umbermo.
It,
Obviously, the speed of Sesko.
yeah, it
And he
reminded me
pointed
that the Tevez, Rooney, and Ronaldo thing, right?
against
That triangle.
Arsenal.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
brilliant. And they're all young, and again, whatever you say about Amrin, he obviously either
he
wanted
saw
them players
something.
or asked for
Yeah,
them players,
yeah,
and there are players that were purchased during his tenure. So there's something positive that you can take from that. So and like if you look at his goals, his last three goals, they've all been a little bit different, haven't they? That he
mm,
scored off the bench. His goal against West Ham was an amazing flick. I mean, for me, that's still the favorite goal
yeah,
that he scored. This
yeah.
one was beautiful counter-attacking lower, and then the one against Fulham, I think it was kind
Burnley as
of.
well. Burnley, he
Oh
scored
yeah,
two goals,
Burnley.
didn't he?
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah. Burnley
they've
three.
all been different. So it's good, and
Mm.
it's good to see him and Gokres who will come to as well. They're both got a big
Yeah,
summer signing strikers,
yeah,
and they were
yeah,
both. I mean, not so much Sesko, but Gokres has obviously been under the spotlight quite a lot. Again, it
yeah,
comes with kind of being first, second, or fighting for the title.
yeah,
But it's good to see the kind of the big name strikers kind of really kind of finding the back of the net really.
yeah. 100%. And
Yeah.
I think he should start, but we will see how good he plays when he starts because most of
Yeah.
his, I mean, apart from Burnley game, I think his good moments came in when he was a sub. So I think this is where probably Carrick sees him to settle the game, get the other team tired, and then unleash
Because
him
he's got the
to
pace.
he
We
got
saw
the
that
pace,
against Everton.
and then
Mm.
he can unleash him on the tired defense, and then headers, flick goals, assists, and then those counter attacking goals. Maybe that's why I think Carrick's
Yeah, but
probably
the thing
use
is,
him.
United are at
Yeah,
home. They
yeah,
shouldn't. They need to be entertaining. I think in the past two games Manchester United played, I've seen a drop in the level of performance. I'd say so. The draw against West Ham and obviously the win against Everton, they've not been as entertaining as the first kind of four games under Carrick. So, I don't know what that. Is it the manager bounce is waning off? Because you can't blame tiredness for that.
no,
We've
no,
only
they're
had one
playing
game a week.
once a week. But then
You know.
this is what we discussed in the last podcast as well. Like sometimes once a week is not good. You already kind of switched off midweek, and then there's no games coming up. So to keep your body fit, to keep your body mentally into the game mode, you need to play game every 3 days, 4 days. Somewhere in between, you can have a week off to rest. But sometimes you can the thing is like the focus sometimes goes away because you're only playing once a week. There's no much to play for. It's only top four you're playing for. But still, now, see, Wenger's top four is kind of like a trophy, for owners. Yeah, it's a trophy because they get money to be in the Champions League
Financially, that's what I mean.
financially, and then you can attract players. So see, guys, Wenger's words. He said, "Oh, if we don't win any of the cups, at least we can go into Champions League." And it does matter. Ask any owner on the planet, would you want to be in top four? Yes, they would say top four. But then again, I think if one of our teams reach final or semi-final, I think you can have top five in the Champions League as well, like last year.
I
So
think there's
yeah.
so again. I may be wrong, Rohit. I think there's a potential of seven,
Ooh,
potentially seven English clubs could get into the
no
Champions
way,
League.
no way.
I think it'd be
Is there?
safe.
Ooh.
Save one of the English clubs: Arsenal, City,
Yeah, He reached
Liverpool,
semi-final or
Chelsea,
something.
or
Yeah,
Newcastle win
yeah,
the Champions League, I think that's
yeah.
an extra space.
Ooh,
Obviously, if they win
ooh,
the Europa League, if an English club wins the Europa League, that's an extra space as well. So there you go. That's
oh,
your seven then,
yeah,
isn't it? Potentially, I
yeah.
think. I mean, I heard that on the
Ooh,
media, so I'm not
ooh,
sure
ooh. Okay,
how accurate that claim is. But I
right.
mean, that'd be brilliant for
Wow. For
England,
the
English football.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And
So
all of our English.
can you see, obviously I'm going to be biased and I think I'm going to think, it should be a United win.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think
really see
can't really
anything
see.
from,
No,
with Mateta out, no Gay,
no, no
obviously there's
Gay.
Adam Wharton,
Exactly.
is Adam,
Yeah,
goal
yeah,
is really good,
yeah.
but there's not that strong spine there at the moment, which we've always said, I think a good team needs to have that strong
Yes,
spine. So
yes.
I'm not saying Palace are going to be a pushover, but, I can see them scoring. So I
Mm.
think it'll be a 2-1 game, but
Okay,
2-1 win to Manchester United. What about
I'm
you?
going
Can you
for
see
two
Palace
nil.
causing any problems?
No, I don't see. I don't see. I'll go for 2-0 to Manchester United. Easy game, I think, especially at
Oh,
home. Yeah, because the last two games you played were away games, one draw,
mm,
one win, and so there's a thing. At home, at least United can dominate, but normally away they're not dominating the
yeah.
games. They're still winning one odd one goal or two wonder goals like Arsenal against Arsenal. So this is what I'm saying. So they they need to dominate games if they want to, like you say, entertain and get your fans into trust them again.
Mm.
So yeah. So but I think it should be easy game because Crystal Palace are not the same as they were at the start of the season.
Yeah, I'd say
2-0,
that. Yeah, I mean,
2-0
yeah,
to
they're
the
not the same
United.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
so win for
mm.
United. Go on then. For me, this is the fixture of the weekend: Arsenal versus
Oh,
Chelsea. I
wow, what a
mean,
fixture.
it's.
Mm,
I mean, let's talk about Chelsea first of all. I mean, they've been so
mm,
inconsistent, I'd say. They've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. So
mm.
you don't really know what Chelsea you're going to face, really. So
Exactly.
that makes it quite difficult. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've got a key injury to Cucurella, so he's obviously been, one of their key left backs. So he's out for Chelsea.
And Fofana
Um,
is because he got red card, right?
sorry?
He's Fofana, Wesley
Oh yeah,
Fofana, so
yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah,
red
yeah.
card.
Mm,
Cucurella is away. I don't know about Estavio, what's going on.
mm.
But remember, Amit, at the start
Stavio's
of
injured as well. Yeah, the
yeah,
striker.
remember,
Yeah.
Amit, you said at the start of the season, I still remember that because I was waiting for some what do you call it, some evidence for that. So I think this is the evidence now. You said that start of the season, Chelsea, because they played in Club World Cup, they reached the final, they won it. They didn't had a preseason. They didn't had a rest. They didn't had a preseason. It will at the end of the season. It will come down on them. They will start getting injuries. They may get tired, and they may lose games. Right? I see this is happening now at the moment because like what
Mm.
happened with Cole Palmer. Look what happened with Cucurella and some of the players there. They've been injured. Their captain, right? I think he's the best player in them.
Reece
Reece
James.
James. So yeah,
Yeah.
so he's been injured in and out. So I think the effect of the Club World Cup is showing now. This is why
Mm.
they're getting injuries. I remember you said that. I think this is what's happening now
Mm.
because they played so many
Yeah, I
games.
mean, I
Yeah,
mean, something's happening with Cole Palmer as well. He doesn't seem to be
yeah.
very
He's
happy at
not
the
been
moment, does he?
fully fit. Yeah,
But
yeah.
isn't I know he was pulled off in the last game, and he wasn't very pleased about that. But he's not
Mm,
been the same Cole Palmer. Yeah, for me, he was actually. I think I said at the start of the season. For me, he was my favourite Premier League player last year. I thought he was
mm.
absolutely sublime.
But
He's just not
he's not
been
been
able to
injured,
kind
isn't
of come
it?
to those heights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
been
been injured.
injured.
Yeah.
Come back. This is what happens, and people blaming Saka as well. Saka's been injured in and out. It disturbs your rhythm. You're not in
Yeah.
game. You need 12 games to even be in the rhythm, right? Properly, especially in Premier League where you don't get a space. every time a plays like that, they get tackled every time, so you don't get a space to do anything. So yeah,
So in terms of Chelsea, then back to the game. So I mean, I'm seeing this as a potential revenge opportunity for Chelsea for Arsenal, obviously knocking them out of the Carabao
yeah,
Cup.
yeah, yeah.
What do you see? What do you see happening? Where do you think the key battles are?
I think key battle is going to be defense versus attack.
Okay, well for
Sorry.
both, for Chelsea and for
Yeah, so we need to defend well because they are a good
mhm,
team.
mhm,
I know they have young players. They are a good team. They showed that little bit in the second half at the Carabao Cup semi-final.
mhm.
First half they set back. Second half they came out right. But our defense was solid. We need to be the same. We need to play to our strengths, Joker's strengths. Play easy like they. I think we need to just copy what we did at Spurs here as
Yeah.
well. We just need to now we got that skeleton, that model we can play. Like
Formula.
the Spurs game was exactly like I think what how we played Newcastle away as well. We were brilliant in that. I think this is our skeleton. This is what our model should be. We need to just play like that, and then I think we can win that game. And Chelsea haven't won at Arsenal. I think last time they won against us were 21. So it's been 5 years. And I remember that game 2-0. It was second loss of Arteta's first full season when he lost first 3 games in the season. We had 0 points after 3 games. Everyone was saying Arteta out. So look where we are now in 5 years.
Yeah.
So, but then coming back to the game, it's going to be a tough game. No game is easy. And I love the way Mikel said today is that is the preparation. It's about knowing what to do. Records are history. Nothing matters. Because someone asked him, "Oh, you have a good record against Chelsea. You haven't won." He said, "Yeah, what's the point? They're history. They're gone. Zero."
The thing is that these players haven't been there for that period of time, have they?
No, they've been the same players. Most of them the same players.
No, but the Chelsea players haven't been the same players for the past 5 years, have they?
No, plus no 5 years, but most of them are still there, right? So like Sanchez, Reece James, and anyway. But the thing is that we need to be on top. We are going for the league, and they are going for top 4. They want to win. They can't set back now. Like Carabao Cup, they have to
win.
They have to attack. They have to win, and we need to win. I'm looking for interesting game. I'm not hoping for too many low blocks. I'm looking for really open game, interesting game. But let's see who wins. But obviously Arsenal.
You're saying that though, but I mean they were quite defensive against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup's second leg, weren't they?
That's what I can understand that because we only had 1-0 lead, right? 3-2 we won at Chelsea, so we only had 1 goal lead. Yeah. So what they want to do is they didn't want to concede 2 or 3 in the first half, and the tie was over. Right? This is why they said, okay, we'll set back. I mean, again, it's what their coach thought, right? Imagine like a Mourinho. If they had won, everyone would have said, "Oh, what a brilliant tactic!" Like Mourinho, right? Defense, 1 goal, attack, 1 goal, 1 attack, another goal. There you go, 2-1, 1-8. So
the thing is, you're not. They're not playing against a vulnerable team, though, are they? They're playing against the team with the best defensive record, as in Arsenal. So they've got to have that faith that their players can tear you apart. I wouldn't have that confidence.
This is why they didn't want to attack in the first half.
So do you think he's going to approach the game differently than this time? Right?
I think he will approach it differently this time. He will go for the attack from the kickoff, I think. But then again,
good game.
Yeah, it should be a good game, but their defense against our attack.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it earlier on in the podcast. So, Gyökeres is on. I think he had his second. Well, he had his best game, I think, against Arsenal.
Yeah, against Spurs. Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah, I think he got man of the match as well. So, and he's on form. 8 goals in 12 games. You can't argue with that. So he's going to be a big threat.
Exactly.
And I think Arsenal have had a week off as well, haven't they?
Yes, we had a week off, luckily, and
so hopefully your players are going to be refreshed as well.
Yeah. It is all about that because Chelsea have conceded 2 against Leeds at home. They drew against Burnley as well. So their defense is now, especially if Fofana is not there, their defense is leaky. We need to take advantage of that. We need to play. But then again, now I'm thinking it could be a great midfield battle as well again with Caicedo and
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with Caicedo and Declan and Zubi and Fernandes. So I mean they are a counter-attacking threat. They definitely are because they showed that against Chelsea, against City, right? When they scored at the last minute and they drew the game, when they didn't have any manager, when they sacked him, Maresca. First game after Maresca was sacked, they went to City and they drew the game. So they are a threat. So we can't take them lightly. We have to play to our advantage, play to our strengths, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think knowing that Fofana's out and Cucurella's out, I think is an opportunity where you've really got to Gyökeres has really got to really put his presence in there. Yeah. And also I think it's a good chance to just try and attack the wings as well.
Exactly.
Whoever's just to kind of test the waters because whoever's going to come in to replace Cucurella, they're probably not going to be as confident as he is or established as he is. So it's a good opportunity to maximise on potential weaknesses for Chelsea. But I'm looking forward to it. And as I said, for me this is the game of the weekend, and also the battle I'm looking forward to is for Rice and Caicedo. I know it's been built before as well, but it should be two probably of the best centre midfielders, midfielders in the Premier League this season. So that should be great. So, what's your prediction for the game, Rohit? Most importantly,
you know what? I want to see Arsenal win. So my prediction is Arsenal win 2-0 or 3-0. But let's see.
Okay. I mean, I want Arsenal to win because I want Chelsea to fall further back from top four. But I'm finding this game really difficult to predict because, we don't know what Chelsea we're going to get. Are they going to be the sublime or the ridiculous? So I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, but I do hope Arsenal win.
Arsenal will win. Definitely. And City playing on Saturday, I think. So again, they're playing ahead of us.
so they could be top of the league, can't they?
No, they'll be 2 points.
Yeah.
They still have game in hand, innit? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good. Brilliant. So that's been a meaty episode. We've covered quite a lot today. Hopefully you're still with us and you've been able to follow us and you're engaged. But as Rohit said, please do comment on any of the topics that we've discussed today, and do subscribe, like and follow. And a big shout out to Davis Optometrists for their support in this podcast. So Rohit, I'm gonna have a lie down now and get ready for a busy sports weekend, because we've got a big crucial match for India as well in the cricket.
Yes. Cricket
Kind of
well
a virtual quarterfinal against West Indies as well.
Yep.
So
yep.
Sunday's a big day for all of us, for football and cricket for us.
We'll be hooked on the TV on Sunday. That's it.
Yeah. Let's hope it's a Manchester United, India and Arsenal win, eh?
Perfect weekend.
We'll find out. Okay, until the next time, take care, guys, and look forward to catching you up on Sunday.